Well, anyone who has ever done a little repainting, maybe you're doing a little decorating, you know you go to the paint store and you're looking at the thousands of options. It gets a little bit overwhelming. So where do you even start? We got you help today. All right, we've got Amy Emery from Amy Emery's Interior Designs. Great to see you.
Thank you. You too. Good morning.
I mean, this is just one of the examples of a palette.
That's why I brought it.
It gets a little overwhelming. Where do you even start?
Is. You know, it's funny because that's actually the most common question I get is where do I start with a paint color? And my answer is actually not with paint.
Not with paint?
No. There are so many other decisions that need to be made in an interior design project. You know, basically, I like to look at it like a pyramid. If you start with the items that have the least amount of choices, start with those first and let it trickle down into things that are limitless, like paint.
Okay.
Paint's really the glue that kind of pulls everything else together. Yeah, so starting with it's not always the easiest way to go. One recommendation if you're just starting a fresh room is I like to start with a rug.
Okay.
Couple reasons. A rug, obviously it covers a lot of the space.
Yes.
It becomes the focal point of the room. Usually there's a lot of colors, like this one here has got a lot of beautiful color you can pull out of it. And then some of them can be a pretty big investment too. So
you're going to that's your expensive ones.
Right, so you're going to be living with it for a while. Make sure you work around it.
I like it. When you're looking at this, what color, because there's so many options in here, so how would you know, like, oh, I want it, you know, go blue, but my room is really big, so do I need it to be, do you look at that
Well,
kind of
you know,
stuff?
you really have to consider how do you want the room to feel? You know,
cozy.
do you want it cozy? Do you want it to be light and airy? Do you want it to have some drama? Do you want it to have some pop to it?
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to help you determine which way you need to go with your paint. Like in this rug, you know, what color do you like in this rug?
Yeah, I love the blue.
The blue?
Yeah.
Well, I happen to have
Well,
some
look
blues
at there.
right here that just happen
those
to
are
work with this
pretty.
rug. You know, so we can go lighter, we can go darker. That's a few options. And then in the rug too, there's golds and neutrals. There's actually, and don't laugh, but mauve is back.
It's back.
Pink is hot. It's, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Ooh, I like that palette too.
But
kind
then
of
there's some greens that you can
that's
pull in.
pretty.
And, you know, within each of these, if you go this way, obviously your room is going to feel bigger and brighter and airier. The darker you go, yes, it's going to make the room feel smaller and cozier, but maybe that's the look you're going for.
That you're going. Is there anything that you should stay away from? Like, you know, it's hot. I've seen a lot of people doing the walls and then painting the ceiling a different color. Is that like a lighter shade of what the wall is?
No, that's a great idea too. It's a way just to kind of change things up and make it different. You just have to be cautious in painting ceilings because if you already have low ceilings, painting them a color or a dark color is just going to help them make them feel lower. If you have really tall ceilings, it's a great idea to help bring the ceiling height down.
Okay, now talk to me about this too. When people are trying to sell their house, you know, everyone's like, just, you know, you may have wanted this room red, but maybe go neutral, you know, paint it like a neutral color before you try to sell.
Definitely. You just, you know, you don't know who you're going to offend with your colors.
Yeah, and some people can't see past colors. It's like all it takes is to paint over it if you don't like this room. But
Right, I mean, it's very visual, which is really, I mean, that's why I have a job, because some people can't visualize beyond what they see in front of them. And yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, you know, you do get these color fan decks, and they have thousands of colors in them, like you said. You know, my one biggest piece of advice is, you know, I have a lot of clients that come to me and they say, I want my room to be blue, and they pick this blue. It's the direct interpretation of a blue that they love.
Yeah.
Take that and gray it down. Most fan decks are divided up into, so you can start, it comes grayed out in neutral here, and then it gets brighter as you go along. Just stick in the neutrals.
Stick in the neutrals.
Stick in the neutrals. Get color. There's no problem with color, but stick in the neutral palette and then pop in your more intense color with things like your rug or a pillow or lamps. Yeah, do your really intense colors in smaller pops. Just, I mean, that's not always the rule, but you have to know what you're getting into if you're getting into those intense colors.
Do you think you could come back and do more segments with us? I love all your advice.
Yeah, I would love to.
And if people would love to talk to you now, do you have a website or Facebook?
I do. It's Amy Emery Interior Design, and you can also find me on Facebook at Amy Emery Interior Design. And pretty easy.
Yay, awesome. Thank you so much. Great tips. Love this, Amy. Now,
sure.